Hey guys, it is the 9th of January. It's nearly 6 p.m. and I was literally stuck in the worst traffic right now. Thunderstorm. But I got this new little gadget that is able to hold my phone while I drive. I haven't made any videos in a while because I think I was just really overwhelmed with so much. Christmas, New Year, new business, integration, Ketamine. For those of you who don't know me and my story, my name is Lucia and I'm 43 years old. I'm the comeback kid. I came back from a nervous breakdown, full-on burnout, a near-death experience where I had a brain bleed in 2021, and and I'm now navigating, understanding and unpacking my trauma, abandonment issues, trauma bonding, wounds, and with the help of ketamine, it's just been a life-changing experience for me. So this week I found myself onboarding a couple of clients. Two stood out, and these clients are candidates that I'm personally getting to know, connecting with on a level where, if you know my business model, it's humanizing talent. Sorry about the bouncy. Looks like this little gadget of mine is not quite stable. But I met with a C-suite executive, board level member, and she was quite vulnerable to me, sharing her experience with toxic cultures, a bad marriage, and just really life, and how she, as this high-powered executive, was told by her psychiatrist, we need to put you into a psychiatric ward because we fear that you're going to harm yourself, literally. And she was like, oh, can I take my laptop with me? And the psychiatrist is like, lady, look, you're in bad shape. You can't be taking your laptop with you. And I realized something when she was talking to me about this. I did that too. When I had my my nervous breakdown, I was actually feeling guilty because at the time my business partner was just about to have her baby, and things had been quite rocky because at the time she was, I think, probably about 8 months pregnant, 9 months pregnant, around there. It's quite a blur. But when my therapist said to me, Lucia, you've had a nervous breakdown, this was in 2022, and you need to shut down, like no work. I need to book you for 2 solid weeks. I remember telling my business partner, I mean, I don't believe this, but like, this is, you're in disbelief. You're in disbelief. Me, nervous breakdown? What the hell are you talking about? I mean, she put me on these sedatives, stat, and I remember my business partner saying, could you not have waited to have your nervous breakdown until I had my baby? And I thought to myself, wow, okay. And that's when I started realizing that I was in a narcissistic, abusive cycle with my business partner. I didn't know it at the time. I mean, I'm looking back now and I'm going, wow. But I also realized my trauma and my codependency and my abandonment issues from childhood was surfacing, and I didn't have the tools, I didn't have the intellect, I didn't know anything about trauma bonding and, you know, people pleasing, and I just thought I was like always accommodating and doing things nice, and I realized I was making myself small to accommodate everyone else. And during my onboarding sessions, these are the type of deep conversations that I have with my candidates. And, you know, getting to know some of these humans is honestly the best gift, because they are so vulnerable and so open with me. And obviously, you know, let's call it client, doctor-patient confidentiality. So I definitely won't, you know, share names, who they are and what industry they're in and what jobs they have. But and then I had another candidate who onboarded me who was a mom of a 4-year-old little girl, and her second little girl was 6 months old, and she had decided to break this pattern of abuse and neglect and trauma that her husband of, I think, 7 years, I think it was 7 years, she was just going through a hell of a lot. And I realized, you know, trauma back 20, 30, 40 years ago in mental health wasn't really spoken about. And we look at our parents and we look at our grandparents, and you gotta give them kudos for that. I mean, I don't know what to say, but those marriages lasted because that's my bed, I made it, and I now need to lay in it, and there's no way out. So they took it and they somehow suppressed all of that. But what we didn't realize is that we were being, this was being passed down to us, the generational trauma, and it just became this vicious cycle, right? And now that I have the tools, the understanding, if I look at how I overfunction, how I overcompensate, how I parent is so different now after post-ketamine, post-trauma, post-relationships, be it romantic, marriage, romantic partnerships, friends, family, doesn't matter. I always knew that, or everyone else knew that, Lucia was always going to be the person who entertained, who bought the gifts, who did everything for everyone, because that's just who Lucia was. But I didn't know that that was me actually being, I had no boundaries, overcompensating with gifts, with food, with acts of service, and 90% of those people were not filling my cup, and I didn't know that. So I was just taking these little breadcrumbs from them, and I was just taking these little scraps from them. And yeah, I just wanted to share this, is that it's quite profound. If you look at marriages from then and marriages now, men and women, this is men and women. I mean, a toxic relationship I'm in a toxic culture at work. I have toxic family. This is not good for my mental health. I mean, imagine taking a mental health day 20 years ago. That was unheard of. And in some companies, I know for a fact, in some companies, it's still frowned upon. And if you're lucky enough to be in a company where they take mental health seriously, then you're in a really good place. But if you have to hold down the fort and be sitting with your laptop while you're on antidepressants and anti-anxiety medication and doctors telling you you need to shut off down completely, and you don't do that because you have this expectation to perform, you're in the wrong place. And I'm so glad that my new business model is changing lives, really helping candidates be seen and go to companies and be represented by me at companies where they can get out of that toxic darkness, or even if they're unemployed or retrenched or whatever the case may be, and just pulling themselves out of that pit, and just for somebody to see them again, because that's what I would want. I would just see me, just see me. You don't have to validate me, you don't have to praise me, but see me and see that I'm really trying to make an impact here. And again, ketamine's changed my life. I will probably be talking about this for the rest of my life. I had a terrible day today. I literally had one of the worst days today, and somebody sent me something and it resonated with me. I can't remember what it said, but healing is not pretty. Healing is loud and messy. And if I think about all these years of my life, and I'm going to be 44 this year, so if I think about all these years of my life, where I was hyper vigilant, over functioning, childhood trauma, relationship trauma, family trauma, friend trauma, just business trauma, just all of this, and going, wow, I did not know that impacted me so profoundly. So we all have baggage, but it's up to us to go, okay, I have baggage, and I have to acknowledge I have baggage, and I have to acknowledge that, not that I'm defective, not that there's something wrong with me, but acknowledging that I have baggage, I have trauma, and I have to deal with the trauma if I'm going to be a better person. Because if I'm going to be a better person, I'm going to be a better mom, I'm going to be a better dad, I'm going to be a better partner, I'm going to be a better friend, I'm going to be a better boss, I'm going to be a better leader. But if I don't deal with my trauma, and I'm not willing to take accountability, to take that deep look in and say, hey, yeah, there's definitely room for improvement. If I can't say that, then I'm never going to change, and there's always going to be a cycle, and it's a loop. I call it the loop. It's like a loop. It's like a record that's just stuck on repeat. But yeah, just had, and there was a post on LinkedIn where somebody, I think she was quite a senior C-suite level legal leader, and she said, even me, I struggle, even me. So you guys might see the well put together version of me, and I've showed that version for a very, very, very long time, and I've been told that I am a warrior, I'm a soldier. And guys, what you don't realize is the guys that look like they're warriors and soldiers, they are the ones with the deepest wounds, with the deepest trauma. And I'm willing to admit that that was or is me. And I'm working through my trauma, and I'm embracing my trauma, and I'm embracing my journey. And yeah, it's just a better version of me than I was ever in my life. So yeah, I'm on this roller coaster of the ketamine. And but yeah, let me get going, and I will post again soon. Ciao, ciao.